you.
Hello and welcome to the first ever Luniverse community webinar. I'm Emily from Luniverse's community management and marketing team.
Hi, I'm Damon from Luniverse's DevRel team. It's really nice to see you all.
We've put together this short webinar for Web3 builders and developers interested in Luniverse products to give you an exclusive first look at our upcoming Luniverse testnet service.
There are three main topics that will be covered in this webinar. First, we will introduce you to the Luniverse ecosystem and our services. Then, we will discuss how developers can build the apps with the Luniverse. For the last section, we will give you a quick demo of the Luniverse testnet, which you can try yourself with our 60-day free trial.
And by the way, we're also giving away exclusive NFTs to those who participate in the testnet free trial. So make sure you listen to the end of the webinar to find out how you can enter.
Let's jump right in!
Luniverse is a blockchain service platform that provides all the tools for Web3 developers to build, deploy, and manage innovative solutions using blockchain technology. We provide the best environment for DApp development and operation, powered by Luniverse Layer 2 technology that bridges high-performing sidechain solutions to our main chain, the Balance. Currently, Luniverse offers a wide range of core services, such as sidechains, a consortium mainnet, and smart contracts, as well as various API services related to NFTs, tokens, and decentralized digital identity services, just to name a few. Luniverse is also planning to add more innovative services in the future, such as a wallet service, node service, and various useful tools for developers. To give you a quick overview of how the Luniverse ecosystem works, let's look at a few things we can do with the mainnet and sidechains. Luniverse consists of two layers, a mainnet and the sidechains. Each sidechain is connected to the mainnet. Within this ecosystem, you can do all kinds of things, such as creating tokens on the mainnet and pegging them with sidechain tokens, or creating smart contracts to run dApps on your own sidechain. The best thing about this structure is that you can do all of this on a high-performance sidechain that boasts over 3,000 transactions per second without incurring any gas fees, and still being able to rely on the security of the Luniverse mainnet. Another huge benefit of using Luniverse is that it is super easy to move your assets to and from other chains via the multi-chain bridge. Currently, we support the Ethereum and Clayton networks, and more chains such as Solana and Aptos will be added in the future. Generally, creating web applications requires developers to construct a service client, a server, and a database. End users communicate with the service client, which can connect them to the server. The server then connects to the database, where all the application data is stored. Decentralized applications, or dApps, differ from traditional web applications in terms of the back end. In the case of dApps, a service client can directly connect to the blockchain using Ether.js, Web3.js, or another library. Blockchains consist of many nodes, and these nodes are where the program code is stored, which is also called a smart contract. These nodes are always talking to each other in order to synchronize data, allowing them to work as a single computer. These back-end differences make it very difficult to build and learn about dApp services. However, using Luniverse can help developers start building right away, with our seamless guides that builders can easily follow. We provide API and GUI services for building dApps, which makes the complicated process much more simple for those who are not sure how to get started. All you need to do is send some API calls and click a few buttons, and you'll be well on your way to building your very own dApps. The Luniverse testnet is a free trial version of services available on the Luniverse console for Web3 builders. Here you can upload or test dApps for free with our 60-day free trial. Signing up will allow you to test out the launch playground, where you can explore various features of Luniverse for free and see what you think about our environment. Damon is going to give you a demonstration of some of the key features of the Luniverse testnet, including how to create an environment and build your own smart contracts using TX actions.
In this section, we're going to learn how to use Luniverse services and how to build a simple DApp on Luniverse environments. And let's give it a try. What we're going to do first is create our own environment. Go to Luniverse console. If this is your first visit, please sign up with your email address. Once you log in, you can see the main page of the Luniverse console like this. Find the environment menu on the left sidebar and click overview. Then you can see the list of the environments you can access. I have 3 environments, but you might have nothing on the list. Let's create an environment. Click the create button here. Now you can see the several types of chains you can create or connect. The balance mainnet is Luniverse's layer 1 blockchain, where actual transactions occur for public use, which is connected to other layer 2 side chains. And testnet provides an alternative environment similar to the original mainnet. This network has the same functionality as mainnet, and it will be connected to your testnet sidechain, which we are going to create. And Luniverse sidechains are the layer 2 blockchains, and there are several options you can choose from, such as Luniverse POA chain or Hyperledger chains. If you want to create one of them, you have to purchase one. But luckily, we have launched the testnet, which you can use for free. And there is public network section down here. These networks are not activated now, but will be supported by node provider service that we are planning to release in the near future. Go back to Luniverse sidechain and let's start to test the sidechain. It says started here on my screen because I've clicked it before. If you haven't already, please click the start button. And once the creation is complete, you can see the testnet sidechain on the list. I'm going to click it. Then it shows all the details of this environment, and you can also find the link testnet side scan here, which is the chain explorer, where you can search for information about transactions and blocks. Usually, if you purchase a sidechain, a new chain will be created and no transactions can be found. But the testnet sidechain is the shared chain for everyone. You might be able to see other transactions here. Let's go back to Luniverse console. In order to interact with the blockchain, you need an account. And using the Luniverse console, you can create one easily. Let's give it a try. Click environment account on the left sidebar. My guess is that you don't have any accounts on the list yet. Click create button here again. And I'm going to select testnet sidechain and create EOA. Then enter the required information. The account name will be webinar EOA. The purpose is for test, and enter the passphrase and repeat it again and click the next button here. Then there you go. The private key and key store file will be shown on the screen. Your private key is not stored by Luniverse, so make sure to store it in a safe place. And we're going to use this value when we sign transaction later. So copy and paste it in a temporary note. Next, download the key store file and keep it in a safe place as well. And you can choose the voice service to store your key store file in Luniverse, so you don't need to worry about losing it. I'm going to leave it as Voltron here, and then click the create button. Finally, you can see the new account is created. And we're going to use the account address later, so please copy this and paste in your temporary note as well. Next, we're going to create an API key for access permission. Click the profile picture in the top right corner and click IAM. And IAM stands for Identity and Access Management Service. It allows you to manage access to the resources provided by Luniverse. You can create IAM users or API keys to give a specific permission. We're going to use TX Action, which is one of the API services. So let's create an API key. So select API key menu and click create button here. Enter the purpose. I would put webinar and select the transaction API here. And you can also select additional permissions that you want to use. I'm going to select them all and click the create button, and it will give you access key and a secret key. The secret key is never stored in our database, so if you lose it, you cannot use the API key. So please make sure to copy and paste these values in your note and click the complete button, and there you go. The new API key is created. Click the API key to see the details. API key has IP whitelist for security, so you should register IP addresses that you want to give access to your API key. You might want to add your public IP address here. So click register IP whitelist here and input your public IP address. Then click create button. Then check if your IP address is registered on the list here. And next, in order to use the API services, you need to generate an authentication token. I'm going to call it auth token from now on. Find the developer portal menu at the bottom of the sidebar and click it to open developer document here. And then click the eString authentication at the bottom of sidebar as well. And scroll all the way down and you can find a card command for generating auth token. We're going to convert it into Node.js. So copy the entire card script and open IDE that you're familiar with, such as VS Code. But I'm going to use the run.js application to display the code and results at the same time. Create and open the JavaScript file. I would say generate auth token. Paste the code commands. Let's wrap it up with /* and //. Okay, now we're ready to start. We are going to use the node fetch library for API calls. So you might need to install it, like npm install node fetch. Oops. But I will skip the installation because I have already installed it. So I'm going to type import fetch from node fetch. Then we need to declare the function for generate auth token. So let's do sync function. The function name will be generate auth token and open bracket and call it rockets. And this function will be returning fetch responses. So return fetch function. The fetch function has two arguments, URL and options. This will return all of the HTML data, but we only need the body part. I'm going to add then response arrow response.json method. I want to see error logs when it fails for some reason as well. So I'm going to add catch, open brackets, add console log. Okay. Next, we have to declare two variables, URL and options. So let's type const URL, it will be string, const options, and it will be object type here. We can get the URL values from the card commands here in the first line of card command. Let's copy this value, paste in here. Then inside of the options, we need to define method and headers. It will be object. Body parameters. The body has to be stringified, so I'm going to use json.stringify method. Okay. Refer to card command. The method is post. There are one header, which is content type. So I'm going to copy this, paste into the headers object, and don't forget to wrap up with quote. Okay, and let's copy the body part here into the JSON stringify method. Okay, then for the last step, let's put your API key and secret key from Luniverse console. You might have copied these values from the Luniverse console and paste them in your temporary node. So you get these values from your node. But I have those values in my .env file. So I'm gonna get this from process.env.access key. And I'm gonna repeat it again. And secret key. Okay, the express in refers to how long the auth token will last for, and the unit is second. I only need it for several hours, so I'm gonna 36,000, which is equal to 10 hours. All right, I'm gonna call this function. So let's say generate auth token at the bottom of the code. I would like to see the result, so let's add then console log. I'm gonna run this code, and there you go. In this response data, there is a token here. This value is one that we're gonna use for API calls. So copy this value and paste it in your node. So, and what we're gonna do next is create a very simple and basic smart contract on the Luniverse environment. And Luniverse is fully compatible with EVM, so you can create smart contracts with Solidity. So let's open IDE, create a new file, new Solidity file. The name will be capital H, hello, capital W, word.sol. We're going to start off by specifying a license in the first line. So / spdx -license -identifier : I'll put on license here, on license. And then we have to declare the Solidity version. The latest version is 0.8.17 for now. So let's type pragma solidity correct 0.8.17. And don't forget add the semicolon at the end of the line. And let's create a smart contract with the keyword contract, capital H, hello world, and open curly brackets here. Inside of the curly bracket, let's declare the message state. It will be string, public, message, and semicolon. Now I'm going to initialize this state using the constructor function. So constructor, open round bracket, and curly bracket. And inside the curly bracket, let's say message equal to some initial value, but I'm gonna put hello world here. And this constructor function, it will be executed only once when you deploy the contract. We're gonna create two functions, get message and send message. Let's create a get message function first. Start with the function keyword. The name will be get message, open bracket, and the visually will be public view because this function doesn't change any states. Then it will be returning the message. So type will be string and memory. And open curly brackets. Let's return message. And that's it. Next, we need a function to modify the message state. Let's do function and set message, open round bracket. It has a new message argument, so which would be string memory underbar new message, public for visually, open the curly brackets and type the message equal to underbar new message. And that's it. Save this file and we're gonna upload and deploy the contract Luniverse console. So let's go back to Luniverse console again. There's a contract menu on the sidebar and click it. And smart contract. This is the place you can upload and manage your smart contract source code. We're gonna upload the contract you just coded. Click the create button here. There are two ways to upload smart contract data. You can just upload the solid file before compiling, or you can upload the API and bytecodes that you can get from compiled data. But I'm gonna use file upload here. Select this one and enter the name will be hello world. And select the file from here and click the create button here. Okay, it has been uploaded. Let's deploy it. Click the deploy management menu. Click the deploy and import button here. And we're gonna deploy with resource file we just uploaded. So select the first method and select testnet sidechain for environment. The contract resource will be the hello world, and select the contract to deploy. It is a hello world as well. And click the deploy button here. We have to send a transaction for contract creation. So we need a private key to sign the transaction. Select the account that you want to sign. I'm gonna use this one. And select the ways to authenticate. I'm gonna use first service and enter the passphrase for it and click the confirm button here and wait for a second to complete. And there you go, it has been deployed. Let's copy this contract address and search on the side scan here, paste the contract address and click enter. This contract has been just created, so no transactions are found here. Okay. Let's go back to the Luniverse console to create TX actions. Click TX actions menu on the sidebar and click overview. TX action provides the REST API to interact with the smart contract, so you can call the functions of smart contract with API calls. Let's see how it works. Click the create button here and select the contract. Hello world function will be get message, and I'm gonna enter the same name, get message. Click the create button. Okay, new action has been created, and I'm gonna create another action for set message. Select hello world and set message. I'm gonna say set message as well. Okay, then click create button again. Then click the actions and you can see the call scripts of API calls. We're gonna convert it on Node.js. So let's go back to IDE, a new JavaScript file. I'm gonna say it TX actions. And we're gonna use three libraries, Node fetch, UUID, and others. Let's import them in the first line. Import fetch from Node fetch. Import curly bracket v4 as UUID v4 from UUID. And for the last, import open curly bracket ethers from ethers. We're going to define the values such as auth token, API keys, and account keys. So let's type const auth token will be string, and we need API access key as well, and API key has secret key as well. Secret key. Okay. And I missed the E middle over here. And const EOA public key. And we need EOA private key as well. Okay. Remember, we have created these values before. You need to copy and paste them from your notes, like copy this token value into this. But I have these values in my .env file. So I'm gonna type process.env.auth token and process.env.access key. I'm gonna repeat it again. Secret key and process.env public key and process.env.private key. Okay, there we go. And we are going to declare two functions for text actions, the get message and send message. So let's type async function get message bracket and curly brackets. Repeat it again and send message and up brackets here. Okay, then get message function is not going to change any state, so it doesn't need to send the transaction, but the send message function will change the message state, so we need to send the transaction for it. The send message function will return raw transactions, so we are going to declare two more functions. So it would be async function sign row tx and open brackets, and async function send signed tx and brackets and curly braces here. Okay, let's do the get message function first. This function will return the fetch response. The format would be similar to the generate auth token function here. So I'm gonna copy this code and paste into the get message function here and remove the URL value. The body parameter would be different, so I'm going to remove it as well. Okay, and let's go back to Luniverse console here to check the get message call script here. We're gonna copy this URL and paste into the URL here. And there are two types of headers. One is content type, which is already defined, and the other one is authorization. We're going to copy this one. Copy and paste into the headers here. And let's wrap it up this part with backticks. I'm going to replace this API token here, which is the auth token here. So I'm going to add dollar open and close curly brackets, and I'm going to use auth token here. Okay, and for the last, we have to copy the data parts from here, paste into the body part. We're gonna replace the EOA address from here. So I'm gonna input public key in here. Okay, now let's go all the way down and let's call this function. So I'm gonna say get message and open bracket and add the then and console log to see the results. So let's run this code. Then you can get a message that says hello world is the initial value from the smart contract here. So okay, next define the send message function. It has an argument, a new message. I'm gonna type new message in round brackets and open curly brackets. Inside of this code, we're gonna copy the get message code from here and paste into here. And the URL will be different. So I'm gonna replace this part, end of the URL will be set message, and refer to the call script. The method and headers are the same, but data part is different. So I'm gonna copy this data part and paste into here. I'm gonna input UUID v4 function to generate random UUID. The from will be our public key. So it will be EOA public key. We're going to input the argument into the new message here. Okay, there you go. That's it for this function. So let's execute this function. So scroll all the way down and comment the get message line here. We're going to type set message and open brackets, and we're going to input new message. I'm going to input the message has changed, and then I want to see the results, so add console log here as well. Let's run this again. There you go. You can find the row TX here, which means that it has not been signed yet. We're going to sign it with our private key. So let's do the sign row TX function now and open curly bracket here. Let's declare the wallet variable equal to new ethers dot capital W wallet, and the wallet, we're gonna get this wallet from our private key, so we're gonna add a private key between the round bracket here and return wallet dot signed transaction here. And this function has an argument, the T row TX, and let's put this argument into the signed transactions argument as well. Okay, let's call this function right after calling set message here. So let's add dot, then open round bracket and add response arrow and call the sign row TX and open round bracket, and inside the round bracket let's add this row TX here, so it will be response dot data dot row TX. Okay, let's run this code again, and as you can see, we got the hex string of signed transaction for result. So next, we need to send this hex string to the blockchain. So we need another API. So go back to Luniverse developer portal here, and let's find TX on the sidebar and click it, and then find the API for sending signed TX. So click to open it. There is the details of this API, URL, and body parameters. Refer to this API. Let's do the send signed TX function here. So open the curly brackets, and this function will be getting an argument which is signed TX. I'm going to copy the set message, the code, and paste into here. As you can see, we need to add signed TX at the end of the URL. So slash and signed TX here. And body part has the TX ID and signed TX. So let's remove this part and add signed TX colon and signed TX again. Okay, let's call this function after the signed row TX here. So add dot then, it will be return this hex string. So I'm going to call it signed TX and arrow. And now we're gonna call send signed TX and signed TX between the round bracket here. And let's run this code again. Okay, there you go. We got the result of sending transaction. Let's get this transaction on Luniverse console. Go back to the Luniverse console, click the TX action history here and select the testnet sidechain. Then you can see the status of transactions and you can check it. You can check it on the side scanner as well. Go to the side scan here. Then you can find the transaction on this contract. You can click the transaction to see more details. For the last step, let's check if the message state has really changed. Go back to the IDE, comment the lines of set message, and comment out the get message line here. And let's run this again. There you go. The message has changed from the hello world. That's all I prepared for this webinar. Now you're ready to build your own app. Don't worry if you didn't follow all steps. We are gonna upload this video on YouTube. Now, Emily's gonna give you information about NFT giveaway.
Thank you for listening until the end. To wrap up, let us tell you about our NFT giveaway event, which we've organized to celebrate the launch of the testnet. The first 50 people who try out the testnet and verify themselves via the Luniverse Discord can receive an exclusive Voltron Sword NFT, created by the team behind the NFT marketplace based on Luniverse, called CYPHRLY. CYPHRLY is an NFT marketplace that specializes in digital collectibles, both from massive global IPs like Voltron and independent artists. The Voltron project is coming to CYPHRLY soon, so grab the chance to get one of these sword NFTs before the official launch. You can enter by following these simple steps, as shown in this example. Number 1, take a screenshot of the testnet sidechain page with the time and status showing in the Luniverse testnet channel on Discord, together with the first 5 letters of your Luniverse console account email. And 2, sign up for CYPHRLY and share your user code, together with your screenshot and email. This code can be found under your profile picture. This opportunity will be open until November 20th, but the NFTs will be awarded on a first-come, first-served basis, so don't leave it too long.
Thank you for listening to our webinar. We hope you learned a lot. Can take some time to explore the Luniverse testnet. Oh, and don't forget to join the NFT giveaway.
For more announcements and updates, you can join our Discord server or follow Luniverse on Twitter. We'll be back soon with more webinars and fun content for our Luniverse community. See you soon!
Bye.